you're usually a horrible person and people want to sue you and all that stuff. You don't want to be that horrible person, but you just don't know better.
Well, we've never had a family of mistakes before, have we, Chris? That was excellent. on this kind of steep growth trajectory you've been on, have you made any? Can you think? I know we don't. No one makes mistakes here, but can you think of any mistakes you've made along the way that you kind of look back and think, I would have done that differently, or
I've made a million mistakes. I mean, the number of mistakes I've made is crazy. I can probably count the number of very smart things I've done in my two hands, and the number of mistakes I would need several buddies to count them. I think I'm going to try to categorize them by families of mistakes. I think family of mistake number one is people. It's always people. The worst for every business owner and every entrepreneur, it's always people. It's not being clear on who you need. That's mistake number one. Not taking the time to write down, okay, I need to hire a marketer. Okay, what for? What are they going to do? What do you expect for them? What is the expected outcome? How are you going to measure it? What do you want them to do day in and day out? Oh, what does that require in terms of knowledge? How can you test that during the interview? All this logic of who you need and what do they need to achieve? And in order to achieve that, what do they need to know and who do they need to be? I'm going to tell you, for 10 years, I didn't do any of that. So I kept hiring people who were wrong fits because I didn't think through what I actually needed. That's mistake number one. And that's a very passion of mine. My next business is going to be about helping entrepreneurs solve for that because it was such a huge mistake. And it's so hard to do when you've never done something. How do you know who's going to be good at doing it, right? It's really, really hard. The second mistake is, I know it in my gut. The person's not going to make it, but I'm going to hire her anyway because I don't have anybody. Like, I've done this one more than I should admit because it's a shame. So going against your guts when you're hiring someone that you know it's not going to make it. The third one is you've done that, you've hired them, and then you're going to take 3 times the time to let them go, or you should let them go now, and then you keep them. And then it's excruciating for you, for them, for the team. So you're basically a horrible boss and a horrible leader when you do that. So these are the people mistakes. Not talking about performance, not defining performance, not having direct and sometimes hard conversations about what performance is for the person, what they need to solve, not coaching them, not mentoring them, not holding them by the hand to show them what's the direction, all the things that a leader should do. And when you're a new leader, you don't know how to do these things. So you're usually a horrible person and people want to sue you and all that stuff. You don't want to be that horrible person, but you just don't know better. And the second types of mistakes are mistakes about not following best practice of your industry. Like you're trying to be creative on something. Oh, pricing. Everybody does 3 prices and they organize them this way and so on and so forth. Let's do pricing completely differently with cursor when you can do this and you can do that. Our first pricing was impossible to understand. And people were signing up for our product. It was back in 2013, 14. They were signing up to our product and the drop off were crazy high. And we're like, why are they not going on in the sign up funnel? Why are they stopping defining the price? Because we didn't give them a price. We said, oh, price, it's up to this and starting at that, but find out what your price is going to be by signing up and moving cursors and giving us number of profiles and users. And no, people don't want that. They want to look at a pricing page, say it's $99, it's $49, it's $199. You have this and that, and how many users and how many profiles. Okay, I know how much it is. I know how much I'm going to pay. I'm picking this plan and I'm signing up. So don't invent the wheel on the basics, on the things that people don't want to figure out, don't want to think about. So that's just an example. There could be plenty others. That's the second big family of mistakes. And then it's product mistakes, left and right. I think go-to-market mistakes are the hardest because when you've never done a go-to-market, whether it's product-led growth or it's inbound or it's outbound sales, cold calling, like all these partnerships, all these different ways you can go to market, when you've never done them, what you need to do as a founder, as a CEO, you need to find the people and the team who's going to be able to execute on that, against that. But when you've never done this go-to-market, when you've never led your company to sell to enterprise with an outbound sales motion, which is something I have never done, it is the hardest thing on earth to assemble the team that's going to be able to do that. And that's where you make the most mistakes. And that's where I've wasted the most energy, money, company valuation for sure. And I don't know how to solve for that unless you spend a lot of time with peers who have done it before you. You spend a lot of time with people who are CMOs, CROs, VP of sales who have done it without you. But I've done that too. And still, it's not the same to hear from someone who's done something, this is how I've done it, and do it yourself. Because when you've done it yourself, you know, and you know it inside your guts how it's done. So you can really mentor and coach people. When it's coming from someone else, it's not that easy. So I would say those are the three tremendous expensive mistakes that I've made. And I'm where dozens of millions of euros have been wasted because of those.
Well, we've never had a family of mistakes before, have we, Chris? That was excellent.